So
exactly.
with that, I will turn over maybe to you, Thomas, to start us out with the latest views of where technology is, how it's impacting society, and what it means to all of us, old, young, and in between in the workplace.
Absolutely. Let me know when you can see my screen.
We can just do slideshow and we are
You see,
good.
you see my
Yes,
screen?
yes.
Wonderful. Okay, I'm just setting up everything here. Wonderful. All right, good afternoon or good morning. I don't know what time zone you are in, but welcome. And I want to start off with, from the tech point of view, this is our third or fourth show or show. This is show. That's interesting. I don't know. What do you call these things? Because a webinar is always boring. So this is not a webinar. This is our third or fourth experience. How's that one?
Yes.
So this is our third or fourth experience. And in the first experience, I talked about the AI coming to your mobile phone real soon. I made a prediction. So Jennifer was joking about we're going to be making some predictions. So my prediction back in November was that AI will be in your mobile phone by Christmas of 2024. I was wrong because it's coming even faster. This is the slide I presented back in November, just to catch up everybody. If you weren't on the first one, don't worry about it. What I said was, and I love this cute little picture, I said every mobile phone is going to have its own personal AI assistant. So your personal AI assistant will be talking to your doctor's AI assistant, booking your doctor's appointments, the gym memberships, all sorts of cool things. And I said, like I said, thought it would be happen by Christmas, but actually, because of the technical pieces that needed to be in place. But to bring everybody up to date, because what's happening with AI is actually moving faster than the dot-com days. So any of you are old enough to have worked during the dot-com days, and remember how everything was going crazy super fast? Anything with a dot-com is valuation going through the roof. I mean, I remember things were exploding back then. I look back then, and I think things were slow compared to the speed of AI today. If you look at the announcement made by Microsoft, now this is not nerdy. I think it's important for you all to understand. We all know about ChatGPT. Microsoft is, Jennifer, you said it. What's Microsoft's solution? It's called Copilot. There we
Yeah.
go. Microsoft Copilot. But one of the things everybody in the tech world wants to do is provide you with your own personal AI. And that's going to happen inside this phone. So what Microsoft, they were one of the first in the world, is they've shrunken down ChatGPT, which requires a major cloud computing center. And they shrunken it down in software so small it fits in here without any delay. And it's called Phi 3. So my prediction in December, wrong, it's happening now. But the leader who's going to bring AI to all of you on a personal level and a business level is Apple, if you got an iPhone. Apple, their solution is called OpenELM. Now, this is what's really amazing from a tech point of view. Microsoft solution Phi 3 and Apple's solution for AI, and they're competing with ChatGPT, which I think everybody now has heard of. They're actually faster and better than ChatGPT, but they're smaller. Think about that. Somehow they've cracked the nut of it. These big LLMs, these learning language models, which has hundreds of billions and approaching trillions of lines of information data, so that this AI is super intelligent. The smaller it is, the faster and smarter it is. I'm telling you, the world of the dot-com days where we thought things were crazy, AI is actually crazier, because the smaller something is, the faster it is. It's counterintuitive. It's really interesting. And what's relevant to you is that the first time you're going to taste your aperitif, your appetizer of AI, if you haven't played with ChatGPT, it will happen on June 10th, which is what, about 6 weeks from today?
Yeah.
Apple's newest update of the iOS 18, they will AI enable your mobile phone. So I circled down here all the different features. It's Apple Safari, Siri, shortcuts, Apple Music, messages, health, numbers, pages, keynote, and more. All will be AI enabled and personalized. What that means is As you use your phone, you will have a personal AI agent in your phone, learning your habits and learning what you're doing and helping you. Think of it as a butler or a maid within your mobile phone helping you. And this is I want to say a free gift. Nothing's free from Apple, but this this is a this is coming to you on June 10th. And then you can shoot me an email on June 11th and complain. But I'm just letting you know it's coming. Okay. Don't shoot the messenger. One other thing is that we are so Western with all this chat GPT. You have Facebook with they're changing it to Meta. All these were very focused, and Microsoft, everything's in the Western civilization. But we've heard nothing from the rest of the world. Well, they've been doing a lot of things. China has come out with their own ChatGPT competitor, and all benchmarks have shown that it's actually faster than ChatGPT. The reason why I show you is that we're just beginning. You know the hockey stick curve of where things really start to take off? We're barely curving up, where everybody's thinking, God, things are going so fast. We're barely curving up because 2/3 of the world haven't even made their first announcements. While ChatGPT is on version 4, we're waiting 4.5. China's version 1.0 was already better than ChatGPT's 4.5. I mean, this thing's exploding. Super exciting. But let me keep on going. This is cool stuff. I love this animation down here. Just so cool. Reminds me of, I can't give myself, I say that, but let your imagination flow. There are people who are like this. Listen, AI is super expensive. And a lot of you business leaders are thinking, well, if I have an AI project, how do I get started? Who are the right people to hire? One of the things I want to do is let you know that you be very careful as you look to invest in the right skills and talented people. Jennifer and I think we would started to talk about, maybe that was an interesting topic for a future discussion, to discuss how do you create the perfect innovation team, the perfect AI team in your company? Because a lot of business leaders are asking, what is that? How do I do that without breaking the bank? And what I mean by breaking the bank, a very American expression, is that this is breaking the bank. The top talent in the AI world are getting $1 million a year in salary. That's going to break every company's bank. That's ridiculous. So when all of you are working on AI and you want to put together an AI project, obviously you want to pay $1 million per person. So if you want to have Jennifer and I explore this, how to create a perfect team for you to achieve your goals in the future, let us know. But what I wanted to show you was, from that article, there was one paragraph, and I zoomed in just so you have a feel for how crazy salaries are going. ChatGPT reported that their median salary, all right, for their AI developers is $925,000. That's the first sentence. That's an insane amount of money. If you look down the second, third sentence towards the bottom, Meta, Facebook, they took the median salary from 344 machine learning and AI engineers, and the median salary, meaning the average salary in Facebook, Meta, is $400,000 a year. This is not the way to go. You don't want to get into a competition where you're paying these insane salaries. There are other ways to do this, and this health requires a much bigger discussion. It's not about the numbers. It's about being innovative to solve your corporate solutions. All right. But I just want to show you this so you don't think that this is the direction you should go. Do not play this game. Don't do that. Play it. Be smarter. This is too expensive. So with that, wrapping up my talk with a couple more slides, what are the things that you should be thinking about today? AI chatbots or AI agents. So for today, I like AI chatbots. I think AI chatbots are, everybody goes to a website. If you go to your bank, you'll say, hey, how can I help you today? You write in, I'm looking to have a problem with my savings account or something like that. That's a chatbot. That's good business for today. But in the future, tomorrow is AI agents. Klarna, a Swedish company, financial company, they launched their chatbot, and it has done wonders for them. A lot of people say, show me examples of success in AI. A chatbot is nothing difficult. Technically, I actually attended a course, and a guy who didn't know how to program, he actually was able to, in 20 minutes, launch his first chatbot. It wasn't super intelligent, but it's really simple to launch a chatbot. Klarna launched their chatbot, and if you look at bullet number 2 from the bottom, their chatbot has replaced or is doing the work of over 700 full-time employees. That's pretty incredible. Okay? So sometimes when it comes to AI, you don't have to have the fanciest solution. You don't have to have a team of people making $1 million a year. Sometimes something as simple as making a chatbot will bring the returns and revenue savings to your company. Okay? So even though I'm a nerd and I love AI, something as simple as a chatbot is sometimes perfect for your first deployment of AI. Okay?
So Thomas, a question
Yeah,
actually.
go for it.
What is the difference between a chatbot that I think we've probably all used and a true AI assistant, as it looks like the Klarna is, that may be the reason it's had such much greater success?
And AI, okay, so chatbots are pre-filled in answers. So a chatbot would be you would say our top 50, 20 questions we get are this, then these would be the answers you give. What is most call centers? 90, matter of fact, Lena, who's on the call, she works in telemarketing. She probably has better data than I do on this. 90% of the calls you get are within the same 10 questions.
Mhm.
So you have a chatbot is just a predefined question, predefined answer, predefined question, predefined answer. That's a chatbot. And AI, when we talk about AI, we're talking about the generative AI, LLMs, and being more semi-intelligent. What that is, this is not predefined. What the current ChatGPT, let's call it chatbot versus ChatGPT to simplify it. ChatGPT has ingested when I talk massive amounts of data. God, ChatGPT, the ChatGPT 4.5 that you pay $20 a month for, it has a live connection to the internet. So every single moment of the day, it's ingesting the entire internet. That's how much data it's ingesting. And then when you ask ChatGPT 4.5 Pro a question, it's literally turning around, looking at all of the information in the internet that it has access to, and goes, and then it answers you. So it's not predefined. It's actually calculating and connecting dots and answering you. So that's the difference. One's predefined and one's instantaneous. And that's why ChatGPT, if you ask it the same question 5 seconds later, you will almost always get a different answer, because the internet is completely different 5 seconds later.
Mhm.
Is that okay?
That answers my question, or my first question, but with an AI assistant, is it
Yeah.
fair to say that, for example, with Klarna or the bank, I say, I just bought a pair of pants and I paid X amount of money for them and they don't fit. How can I send them back? Can it look at my customer number and know that I'm in Norway and figure out
Wow.
the duties and the fees?
I was gonna have an inappropriate answer as a friend because we're friends, but I think I shouldn't share that publicly because it would be funny, but then it would be whatever. We won't touch that one. The perfect answer for that, getting myself in trouble, sorry. The perfect answer for that is that a chatbot would be not at all suitable for what you need.
Right.
But your AI agent built into your mobile phone,
Yep.
you would tell, hey, this order that I ordered from whatever store, the pants don't fit, return it. And the AI agent built in your mobile phone would connect to the AI agent of whatever the store is. It would then take care of the shipping, the labeling, the address, and all that. It'll set it all up for you, and it's doing all that work. It's a virtual assistant. It's a person who's doing all that work for you in the background. That's the difference. A chatbot, it'll say, call this number, right? It's doesn't do anything. So that's why AI agents are, this is so exciting what's coming. Now, the reason why AI agents are not, right now, an AI agent takes programming. So it's not as simple as what I told about a moment ago, where the guy for 20 minutes, he launched a chatbot. we're nowhere near that. It is so nerdy. It's painful to launch an AI agent. What you're going to see is companies like Microsoft, who are fantastic at doing it. They will embed AI agents. Like you'll have a simple request and they'll have in the background all these AI agents being made in real time for you. And you'll have thousands of AI agents doing all sorts of things for you. If I could nerd out for 1 second, I think in my head, I love the example. I never said it out loud, so I'll experiment with all of you. You write a paragraph. You will literally have an AI agent whose sole job is to look at the spelling. You'll have another AI agent. Now you're not creating it. This is all built into the Microsoft Word, let's say. You'll have one AI agent just looking at just the spelling. Next agent looking at all the grammar. Next agent looking at all of the facts dealing with whatever context you have about agriculture. Another AI agent being a world-leading expert in this. So you're going to have thousands and thousands of all these virtual little experts looking at everything. As you write an email, it'll be checking it for you, fact checking it for you. It'll keep saying, why don't you complete the sentence with this? By the way, here's a link to a news release that was released 10 minutes ago. It'd be great if you had it right here in this email or this essay. Think about having consultants, the best consultants in the world, working for you. And instead of tapping you on the show, maybe tapping you on the show, say, hey, how about doing this? Hey, how about doing that? Those are AI agents. But today, we're nowhere near the picture I'm telling you, but we're going to get there real fast. Today is really rudimentary, but we're getting there real fast.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes.
I hope that wasn't too nerdy. Yeah, and so I'll end it with this picture. And if you need to have a picture of what an AI agent is, it's a cute little thing in your mobile phone talking to another cute little thing, taking care of your doctor's appointment or your gym appointment or your Tinder appointment, which we won't touch. All right, but listen, the last thing I want to say to bridge it over to Jennifer. AI agents is a concept that the Gen Zs, they get it because it just makes sense to them. They've always have services running on their phone, running in the cloud. For them, they hear the word AI agent, they're just going to ignore it because that they already get I want things to be done for me. They exist in that world. The boomers and the Gen Xs, we listen to this concept and we go, okay, it's like a consultant. Okay, I don't have to pay McKinsey. We have to do this thing. So we have in the office, you're going to have this collide between generations. And this is something that we all have to take into account, that our colleagues mentally are at a different place than we are. So be patient. And with that, Jennifer, let me just give it over back to you. And again, if you have any questions, please ask in the chat by the way, when Jennifer is done, we'll have some time for Q&A. So you could ask questions then. All right. And if you want to hear my horrible thing about Jennifer, I could tell the story, that horrible joke then. Okay. Jennifer, this is all. I'll hand it off to you. I'm going to shut up for a little while.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. Any burning questions for Thomas before I share perspectives of generations and what we can all do in this world of AI agents sending our pants back when they don't fit?
Yeah, that's the only thing they're going to do.
Which I actually very much look forward to that personally. That's all to the good. And as I am sharing screen here, hopefully, I will just also share that in the last couple of weeks, I've had some interesting experiences to go backwards, there we go, to speak about AI and the future with corporate leaders, a number of people that serve on boards of directors, some of whom may be in our session here today, who do come at the world from a point of view of traditional ways of doing things. And at the same time, I've had an opportunity to do a keynote for a group of 14 to 20-year-olds at a school in England. And those 14 to 20-year-olds did not believe that there was ever a world without AI. And we're not even talking about a world without the internet. They did not believe that AI was not something that we were using in the past. And they gave examples of, well, you all have had things like spell check, and you've had ways of going in and searching for things on Amazon. Isn't that AI? And to many respects, it is.
Did it?
Those were the basis and the preliminary building blocks that has grown exponentially and in quantum speed, shall we say, over the last 5 years. Partly due to the amount of data that is out there, partly due to the amount of need and demand for more digitalization. Now, as I speak to people in the, let's call it Gen X, from about age 39 and up, I realize that a lot of folks, after discussions like Thomas just threw out, sometimes just want to hide away. It is a lot. It is a lot of communication channels. It is a lot of change. And personally, I tend to believe that we as people across all generations are probably suffering from a little bit of a light case of PTSD due to the traumas and the change and everything that we've gone through, from COVID to change to digital to learning new technologies. And now, how do we work with AI? So I put that out there because I think as we talk about how can leaders and each of us as part of organizations work together with people that come from different perspectives, it's important to recognize there are times in which we may all just be a little bit tired, a little bit gun shy, and a little bit uncertain of which way to turn. And this is at a time when we do currently, in the vast majority of companies, have people across at least 5 generations, at least people in the 60s, maybe lower 70s, down to people coming in the 20s, and the 16, 17, even 13-year-old interns coming into the organization have very different views. So how do you succeed in this world? Step one is recognize. Take a moment and recognize that we all are a bit tired and uncertain, and we all have a different view about where technology fits. And as I look at these generations, I have been working with organizations for the last really 15 years in how to bring in young people and encourage them to work with the more senior people. And it really continues to strike me more and more that there's a fundamental difference between the baby boomers and the silent generation. So people at the age of, say, 55, 58 and above are structured. They're used to doing things the right way. They persevere. They believe the best, but they're committed to doing it right. Versus the other end of the spectrum, the young people, from the teenagers up through at least the millennials, kind of come at it from exactly the opposite point of view. They're all about purpose. It's not let's do the right thing for society and the company and follow the goals. It's let's do the right thing for the world, because they see the world through the lens of young, fresh eyes and see the social issues in the world. They see the sustainability, the need for change with climate change. And they are willing and they're vocal enough and confident enough to stand up for what they believe. Versus some of the older generations maybe have the same beliefs, but just don't have the characteristics or the experience of standing up and saying, no, I won't work 9 to 5 in the office because that's not good for me or the environment or anybody else. I will quit. The older generation tends to follow those same rules. from millennials down, that's craziness. It doesn't make sense to society. And that small little generation, the Gen Xers, which are typically people in the younger 50s through the 40s, they're kind of caught in between. I mean, they're self-sufficient, they're independent, and they're the ones to say, just tell me what you want and I'll figure out what I can do within it. You want us to be in the office 4 days a week? I'll come in too, and if you don't like it, you can fire me. They meet in the middle. And so in this world where there's AI on top of this, that adds a whole different layer. Because the boomers and the silent folks, they stand back and say, well, we're waiting for AI ethics. We're waiting for the government. We're waiting for somebody to tell us what to do. We've got to be careful. We can't open that cap. We can't even start with that. Whereas for the millennials and the Gen Zers, there's a tool. Let's use it. Why not? Let's jump in. It'll do it for us. Heavens, I don't need to spend 6 hours writing this article. I can spend 6 minutes creating it, dump it over to my boss and go to the beach and he'll never know the difference.
Mm-hmm.
It's a completely different mentality. Whereas the boss of the older generation may say, this is craziness. We're paying you for 6 hours to write an article, sit at the desk and write it. That's the way I would have done it. Neither is right nor wrong. It's just needing to have that conversation. And if it takes 6 minutes to get the article written, what can that person do while they're at the beach that can add value to the company in the other 5 hours that they may have available to them at that point that makes sense based on their values? So what do I recommend leaders? Go ahead.
Jennifer, frankly speaking, I noticed that it is that age is an indicator, but not a proof.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking. I've got a problem at home. My girlfriend is 10 years younger than I am, but she is a lawyer in public services.
Mm-hmm.
Now, tell her to use AI. I mean, she's 10 years younger. I do it every day, and she denies it completely.
Mm-hmm.
So it's your profession, it's your surroundings, it's your agility in mind, whatever it is. It's not only age. It's not only age.
Completely agree. And these were huge generalizations. And that's where I would say the first thing that a leader needs to do is to really sit down one-to-one and understand the perspective of each of the people on the team. Don't categorize. Don't categorize to say, because you're millennial, you're jumping in on technology. That may not be the case. That may be completely off base. Understand through asking good questions. How do you feel about using ChatGPT to draft that article? What are the technologies you're comfortable with? Where do you want to go in your career? How do you want to work? Do you want to come into the office or not? Asking open questions and listening very carefully. I think in today's society, because we have so much coming at us, we as people forget to take a step back, ask a question, listen, adapt, and adjust based upon what that person wants and what their goals are.
Jennifer,
Which, yeah,
I just want to add one thing, and be aware your biases.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
a tricky one, right? I while you were talking, I asked in the chat for people to share what generation they're from, and we have a lot of Gen Xers, which means that we've all lived quite a life and done a lot of
Yeah.
things, which means we have a lot of biases. When you sit down with someone who's different than you, younger than you can't bring your bias into that conversation,
Mm-mm.
right? It's just I'm just making everybody aware of that. That makes it really hard to sit down with someone and not for you to be neutral.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
tough. That's tough.
I completely agree. And that's that ask the open questions in an environment in which you can be neutral. Go
Hmm.
for a walk with the employee, have that one-to-one, open, outside thinking, and really listening.
Yeah.
Because building that organization that's going to work together starts with the leader has to really understand each person
Hmm. Can I just
and
share
align. Mhm.
I'm sorry, just real quick story because it's perfect. When I was in
Yeah.
engineering school, my favorite professor, he told me that Thomas, the best thing about students and young engineers is that nobody's ever told them not to. I love that answer. I was like, what
Mhm.
the hell are you talking about? He goes, I've been an engineer for 30 years. I know you don't do it that way, but they do it anyway. And he goes, you know what? And sometimes it works.
Yeah.
He goes, and so as a professor, I've learned that all you young minds, I have so much to learn from you. And I have to take my 30 years of knowledge and just put it aside
Mhm.
because no one's told them not to. So just, I think that's a beautiful story because I always hold on to that because just because this person is doing something that's triggering my insights, there's something there that I'm going to learn from, right? So sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Just
No, it's
go back to
highly
college.
relevant because in working with people in today's environment, it's more important than ever that we use the 2 ears, 1 mouth. Ask
Hmm.
questions and listen carefully, putting the biases aside to really understand the people and work then to align what they're doing and how they're doing it with who they are.
Hmm.
And in this world where there's technology coming at us, there's different options, there are biases, and there is exhaustion. It's more important than ever for leaders to demonstrate true transparency. That's a way of building trust. To set the direction and share what are we as a company going to achieve, want to achieve, how we're going to achieve it in the next days, weeks, months. Not years, because we don't know what's going to happen in years. But be clear about the purpose and what the goals are in the short term, as well as what the challenges are and vulnerabilities. None of us know exactly how to succeed in today's world, let alone tomorrow. For leaders that can share areas that they're uncertain about, what their challenges are, people begin to trust them, as opposed to looking at, oh, he's of this generation and hence wants me to do these things and knows everything. But sharing what you don't know, you begin to create that equal playing field. And it sets up the environment where people, leaders, and the interns coming in and the young people that are writing the reports can all share openly about the technology that they're using. Where I see some of the greatest challenges in companies is the organizations where the leaders have dictated you can't use generative AI within the organization. Turn it off. That's not happening. I mean, we're sure that people are using it on a daily basis, but they're hiding it. And that creates a whole negative situation. Be transparent. It's here. The cat is out of the box. Start using it and start sharing and collaborating. Number of organizations, Udemy, Adobe, a number build learning labs where they offer on a weekly basis opportunities for people to come together and openly share which tech they're using, how it's working, what's happening so they can begin to collaborate and share openly, not only what's going to work best, but their experience and their learning. And a huge opportunity for reverse or buddy mentoring, allowing those 55-year-olds to be mentored by the 25-year-old, so that the older generation begins to understand what it's like to be a digital native and what it's like to grow up playing video games, and hence this is just perfectly natural. As well as the younger generation understands the human context and why people, whether it's customers or their coworkers, may be resistant to technology, building those bridges and finding ways that people can network, go to social events that are structured with something for everyone, based on back to the understanding of what are the people that we have in the organization really like and what do they want. And empowerment, one of the most challenging but most important aspects of building a corporation, allowing people to explore technology and working relationships, allowing them to push the boundaries, allowing them to try the things that most people think was not going to work, but give them some boundaries. Instead of saying, do anything, use any tool to create anything, provide those AI ethics and the structures. Up to this level, use these tools. Do not upload this type of sensitive information into an open chat GPT. Define what the structures are and manage to that, and be transparent about how that's used. And constantly going back, asking questions and listening. Listen, ask, listen, and ask, to make sure that you're moving forward with the full team with you instead of behind. Is this
Jennifer,
tough? Yes.
may I say something? I'm a huge fan of diversity. The last leadership team I was leading, we were 9, 7 nationalities, 3 continents, 30 plus to 60 plus, 2 gays and everything. And almost everything you say is the same, obvious when you lead a diverse work team. To me, the only difference is check also the technology usage.
Yes.
So I think all what is about listening, about transparency, collaboration, empowerment, you don't manage a diverse workforce anyhow, not because of the generation, but because of all the other diversity elements. Skill diversity, you have introverts, you have extroverts, you have tech savvy and everything. It's just, in my view, just sorry, one more dimension, be aware of the technology use in the different generations, isn't it?
I completely agree. And I think the important thing today is that because technology is going so fast,
Mm-hmm.
and is such a different view of technology across the generations, that there are areas that could really spew into negative consequences, especially as we move further, where more and more over the next 1 to 2 years, we'll see technology driving developments, driving research. Technology will be creating and building the cars and the materials. Those will not be people. There will be virtual societies that are built around us using the technologies that are available. And that alpha generation that has no clue of a world without AI driving everything will be coming into the workplace. And that's going to make it even more critical that we're able to integrate, understand people, and build a world in which people can work better together.